What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Wednesday, June 2nd.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, we have an 8-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. I like Walker Buehler pitching against the St. Louis Cardinals. Walker Buehler, he's only giving up a .581 OPS versus righties and a .220 OPS versus switch hitters, and he's facing 6 righties and 2 switch hitters. So he's got great splits here tonight. And on top of that, the Cardinals have only hit 7 of his last 43 pitches. That's a 163 batting average with a pretty big sample size. He's 9,700 FanDuel salary, and he's 900 more on DraftKings. Projected at 37.5 fantasy points here tonight. He has an ERA of 2.66. His record is 3-0 on the season, and he's pitching an average of 95 pitches per game, averaging 37 fantasy points per game. He scored 28, 43, and 52 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Walker Buehler here versus the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. I like Will Smith with a 47% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Carlos Martinez. Will Smith bats 28% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .994 OPS versus righties. And Carlos Martinez throws his worst ball to righty batters, 19% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .913 OPS versus righties. Will Smith is 1-for-1 with a 2 OPS versus Martinez, and he's only 2,600 FanDuel salary, and he's 1,800 more on DraftKings. Projected at 11 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 9 and 10 fantasy points in the last 2 games. So I like Will Smith here versus Carlos Martinez.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Now guys, just as a quick note, we just released a free DFS contest on Draft Dashboard for MLB and NBA for DraftKings and FanDuel. There's over $500 available in the prize pool, and this is a totally free contest you can enter as a Draft Dashboard member. So make sure to click the link in the description of this video, give Draft Dashboard a try, and you can start playing in our free DFS contest and compete to win some money. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like Ozzie Albies with a small batting advantage over John Lester. Ozzie Albies is batting a .739 OPS versus lefties, and John Lester is giving up a .820 OPS versus switch hitters. Now I like this pick because Ozzie Albies is 7-for-9 with a .778 batting average and a 1.929 OPS versus Lester. So Ozzie Albies is 3,100 FanDuel salary, and he's 1,500 more on DraftKings. projected at 10.8 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 16, 6, and 10 fantasy points in his last 3 games. So I like Ozzie Albies here versus John Lester. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I like Josh Harrison with a 35% batting advantage over Drew Smyly. Josh Harrison bats 16% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .868 OPS versus lefties. And Drew Smyly, he's pitching 19% worse to righties as he does lefties, giving up a .753 OPS versus righties. Josh Harrison is 2 for 4, batting .500 with a 1.167 OPS versus Smyly. Josh Harrison is $2,800 FanDuel salary and $200 more on DraftKings. Projected at 9.4 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 9 and 3 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Josh Harrison here versus Drew Smyly. Okay, this play just caught my eye because he's super cheap on both sites, and he's got a good batting advantage here tonight. So if you're looking for a value play, take a look at Bobby Dalbec, batting with a 65% batting advantage over Framber Valdez. Bobby Dalbec is batting 33% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a 1.015 OPS versus lefties. And Framber Valdez, he pitches his worst ball versus righty batters, 32% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .706 OPS versus righties. So there's no at-bats versus Valdez yet, but Bobby Dalbec is only $2,200 FanDuel salary and only $100 more on DraftKings. So I love that price on both sites. Projected at 10.5 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 7 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 0 and 10 fantasy points in the last 2 games. So I like Bobby Dalbec here versus Framber Valdez.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, who do we have at the shortstop position? I like Xander Bogaerts with a 41% batting advantage over that same pitcher, Framber Valdez. Xander Bogaerts, he bats 9% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .944 OPS versus lefties. And we know Framber Valdez throws his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .706 OPS versus righties. Xander Bogaerts is 1 for 1 with a 3 OPS versus Valdez. And Xander Bogaerts is $3,400 FanDuel salary and $1,800 more on DraftKings. Projected at 11.1 fantasy points per game on the season. He's averaging projected at 11.1 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. And he's been in a slump. Hasn't scored in his last 3 games. So I think he is due for a big game here tonight. So I like Xander Bogaerts here versus Framber Valdez. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like Mitch Haniger with an 18% batting advantage over Sean Manaea. Mitch Haniger bats 7% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .911 OPS versus lefties. And Sean Manaea, he's giving up a .724 OPS versus righties. But I like this pick because Mitch Haniger is 7 for 19 with a .368 batting average and a .894 OPS versus Manaea. So that's a big sample size. So I like Mitch Haniger in this batter versus pitcher matchup. And he's $3,400 FanDuel salary, and he's $1,800 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10.8 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 19, 0, and 22 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Mitch Haniger here versus Sean Manaea.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.